Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me at tmosso@thewatchbox.com, the new direct service line for purchase inquiries from you to me and my crew for this or any watch you see here on Watchbox Reviews. And today we're discussing the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Air-King reference 114210, model launched back in 2007. The example you see here is an M series from 2008, a most uncommon Air-King. 34 millimeters in stainless steel. This is a watch that traces its nomenclature origin to the mid-1940s in RAF pilots, but the one on my wrist, a late 2000s timepiece with a singular combination of blue metallic dial, applique indices, stylized Roman numerals, and engine-turned bezel. My wrist, 16 centimeters in circumference, wears it easily. The Rolex Oyster case always wears a bit larger than a standard round case in the same size. So across the wrist, 41.8 millimeters lug-to-lug, 43.5 millimeters with the solid end links of the Oyster bracelet included. On the wrist, the watch reads a little bit more like a 36 or a 37, and it has a handsome proportional stance for any wrist smaller than 17 centimeters in circumference. The spacing between the lugs is a traditional 19 millimeters, and the watch is a nice svelte 11.5 millimeters thick. Now, one feature I happen to like considerably about this watch is that it is a wonderfully comfortable fusion of Rolex style and Rolex durability. It could be your dress watch or it could be your sports watch, and the Oyster bracelet gives it a little bit more visual strength than it would have had with something like a Rolex Jubilee attached. Now, the timepiece is mostly of satin finish. As you can see, the polished outer faces of the links contrast with the satin finished tops. Because this was considered to be an entry-level Rolex watch, it features the embossed rather than the raised and relieved Rolex crown, but it still features the same sophisticated lift lock system. As you can see internally, the clasp is all media blasted and satinated. There is a beak and a hook tandem, so the lift lock system snaps into place. You can't simply pull it open. You must lift and unlock it. As ever with Rolex bracelets, the removable links are fixed in place using screws, not pin sleeves, and internally you can see there are a few divots drilled inside the clasp, so you can use a strap tool to change the anchoring point of the bracelet inside of the clasp to fine-tune without removing or adding links. You can see on the underside, the Oyster always an ergonomic dream, big gaps to avoid pinching skin, pulling hair, or trapping wrist heat on a hot day. The case features grace. The timepiece, beautifully satinated on its lug hoods to contrast with its polished flank, and the flank has a lot in common with the Date 8s and the Date Justs, and decidedly less in common with the GMTs, Explorer 2s, Sea Dwellers, and Submariners and their super case profiles. This is a graceful, traditional arcing Rolex case in a watch that in many regards evokes both the 1940s Air Kings and the bubblebacks, the first Oyster Perpetuals that came before those. You can see there is an engine-turned bezel. The engine turning creates a set of faceted, geometrically oriented hobnails that have polished faces and then satinated sides, and then there is a coining in between, or a shallow, rough striation that contrasts with the raised geometries of the polished elements. Now you can see that the sapphire crystal caps a vibrant blue metallic dial with a sunburst pattern, so in direct light this one explodes, and you can see that there are several different distinctive features here. While most entry-level Rolex dials feature some measure of printed rather than applied features, this one cuts no corners and makes no compromise. You can see the indices, the hands, and the Rolex crown, all of white gold with all of the indices applied, and the Rolex crown likewise applied and not printed. You can see the Air King motif and the symmetry that comes with a no-date Rolex dial. So not only is there not a date window, but there's no Cyclops eye magnifier. Underneath the Oyster case back, and by the way, Rolex twin lock crown, screw down 100-meter water resistance, Rolex caliber, manufacturer 3130, bidirectional automatic winding, silky smooth with a jeweled staff and Teflon-coated reversing wheels. You can neither feel nor hear this rotor. 48-hour power reserve, 31 joules, 28,800 vibration per hour beat rate. It does feature a screw-out crown that, when pulled to extremity, activates a hacking or stop seconds feature, and the movement is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer adjusted by hand in 5 positions, and able to earn that chronometer certification courtesy of the overcoil hairspring, the Breguet overcoil that is made by hand by Rolex watchmakers. It's braced atop its balance by a full balance bridge, not a half balance bridge, but a full balance bridge with a free-sprung architecture, the two features contributing to shock resistance. So a highly refined, highly accurate, very tough, silent winding, 100-meter, water-resistant, standout timepiece from Rolex's Air King line that frankly is one of the true heritage canonical Rolex sports watch lines, as The 1945 Air King predates the Sub, predates the GMT, predates the Daytona, and all of the Sea Dwellers. If you want to own part of the canon of Rolex in an uncommon and rarely seen discontinued form, check out this 114210 and email me tmosso@thewatchbox.com for details.